I have Dollop tour dates to announce for the year 2024 of our Lord J-Town. We have our 10th anniversary show coming up in Los Angeles on April 27th. Guests are Karen Kilgariff and James Adomian. And then we are going to Australia, starting on May 13th in Perth, May 16th in Sydney, May 18th in Brisbane, May 20th in Canberra, May 22nd in Melbourne, and May 24th in Adelaide. You can get your tickets at dolloppodcast.com.
Looking for an epic summer adventure? You'll find it in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Experience the thrill of over 35 miles of mountain biking trails. Then discover Cheyenne's vibrant craft beer scene with 5 breweries and 2 distilleries. Live music, boutique shopping, it's all in Cheyenne. Cheyenne is fun for the whole family. Camp under the starlit sky or stay at one of Cheyenne's grand hotels and Airbnbs. Visit Cheyenne. Head to Cheyenne.org now. Cheyenne, Wyoming. Our skies are this big.
Hello. Good morning. You're listening to The Dollop.
It might not be morning.
This is a bi-weekly semi-podcast about American history.
Oh, boy. The rust is coming off.
I listened to an episode today and I was like, what do we say at the beginning again?
Yeah.
This is a bi-weekly podcast about American history. Each week, I read a story from American history to my friend
Gareth Reynolds, who has no idea what the topic is about.
Well, you nailed it.
My part's easy.
You nailed it, girl.
My part's easy.
God, you want to hit a dude?
I'll do one bump.
People say this is funny.
Not Gary Gareth.
Dave, okay.
Someone or something is tickling people.
Is it for fun?
And this is not going to become the tickling podcast.
Okay.
You are Queen Fakey of Made Up Town.
All hail Queen Shit of Liesville.
A bunch of religious virgins go to mingle
And do what?
pray.
Hi, Gary.
No.
Nicely done, my friend.
Okay.
1731.
There it is.
The Middle Dutch Church was built at Nassau and Cedar Streets in New York City.
Okay.
The Dutch Reformed community went all the way back to New Amsterdam's first house of worship, and it was central to the lives of colonial New Yorkers.
Okay.
Excited? Is this so far you in?
Well, so far I feel good. I know that whenever we're sniffing around religion, good things blossom.
The British took over the church during the Revolutionary War, ripped out its pews, and turned it into a prison.
Perfect. So, there you go.
At that point, the church was falling apart and damaged. It is believed up to 8,000 prisoners were held in the church during the war.
How big is this church?
It's got to be big if there's
it's
8,000
huge.
dude. Maybe not all at the same time.
Okay,
Maybe at
but
different
still.
times, but that's a lot of that's yeah.
That's a good amount.
You got the papers.
Yeah. Is it okay that he has it?
Well, look, we're gonna send some scripts to people, signed scripts to people who donated on the Patreon, and some of them might have kitty bites.
There you go.
All right, so a New York Times article described the prison. Quote, the whole floor of the church was one caked mass of dead, dying excrement and vermin.
What? Wait. So people are all right. People are dead. It's like a chicken coop. Like people are dead and dying.
It is very much like a chicken coop. It's like a Tyson chicken farm.
Yeah, that's what it's. That's exactly what I thought of right away.
Yeah.
It's a Tyson chicken farm.
Hope you like these chickens,
They're not
motherfucker.
they're not going to be a sponsor, by the way.
No. Well.
It is weird that Mike Tyson has a chicken company that's very successful.
They're the best chicken in town, man.
Okay, look at my breath.
Look inside of these
Look
chickens.
how big and
Look
fat
at
this
those
breath
beaks.
are.
You're not going to get those beaks anywhere else.
Look at this. I'm going to rape
They got
this
them
chicken.
great wings.
I'll put my dick in this chicken whether they want it or not.
Look, yeah, I've been fucking some of the chickens.
I'm a sexual assaulter. The British left in 1783, and the church then sat abandoned for a few years. It was then, by the way, the reason the British left is because we beat the shit out of them. Let's just put that out there.
Well, I'm them too, but still.
It was then reopened as a church on July 4th, 1790. It remained a church for years, but then finally closed in 1844 due to debt.
Okay. Where are we headed?
At this time, the post office in New York was looking for a new location. For a while, the post office had been in several locations around the city, but what everyone wanted was a post office downtown, particularly the merchants.
Sure.
When the church closed and the building went up for sale, local merchants pushed the government to buy it. The property was available for $350,000, but the Postmaster General would only give $300,000.
Okay.
So local merchants raised $50,000 in voluntary contributions.
They really wanted this fucking post office.
But it's just classic America. We're still just buy the fucking post office, you cheap cunt of a guy. Just fucking buy it. It's been going on forever. We're just such cheap assholes. All right. The old church was bought. It would now be a post office, and it was said to have been completely unsuitable for use as a post office.
Why? Okay. Why?
This is a big church.
But I understand that part. Why did they buy it? Why? How did they?
It was the
find that out?
location. Hey,
So all they want is the location.
yeah, well, it was a really good location. They
So-
wanted it down there. Obviously, all the buildings are taken up. It's a big building. They need for a post office. It's just going to be a little.
Well, we all understand. It's very stupid.
It's very stupid.
Okay.
January 1845, a flyer was passed out that read, "The postmaster has great pleasure in announcing to his fellow citizens that the new post office building, 112 years old, at Nassau Street, will be ready for occupation in a few days and respectfully invites people, different blah, 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 to view the interior arrangements of the establishment." So they just told,
It's like
all shitheads, come on down.
a Popin house.
Yeah, Popin house. People came in to look. The altar railing was gone, but the pulpit and its wonderful decoration remained.
How is this? I mean, what are you like when you're taking the tour of your new post office and it's still a church? You're just like, what? Why is the pew here? There's still a priest. Hello.
Oh, God.
I hadn't been told of anything. Why?
What's happening?
I'm sorry.
What about Sundays?
Post
You don't
office?
do mail on Sundays,
No.
correct?
Priest office. It's in the back. What are you looking for?
Galleries looking like overhanging amphitheaters were there in case a gladiator fight broke out, right? So you have these big, side...
Good. Those will come in real handy.
For the rich people to look down on the poor at the post office, I guess.
Yeah.
On the walls, in Dutch it read, quote, "My house shall be called a house of prayer."
Good.
Also,
isn't that nor
whether-
rain nor snow?
It's the same one.
Yeah.
It starts with that.
That's right.
That's the beginning. The post office opened for business. During the first year, the space immediately around the building was still covered with gravestones.
What is this story about? This is just about this is like a Scooby-Doo episode. This is what I would picture as a house in a Scooby-Doo episode.
It's weird.
Gravestones?
Yeah, so you go to the post office and there's gravestones, so you got to walk through the cemetery to mail your letter.
Awkward.
Well, during the first year, the space immediately around the building is covered in gravestones. Vaults beneath the post office were still full of bodies.
That is unacceptable news.
Well, they bought you buy as is.
Dude,
You know what I mean?
They even cleaned Gacy's basement.
You can't inspect the building if it's a auction. You buy as is.
No. On the
That's
contrary,
how it works. And
no,
then you
that's
and
not
then you
how it
buy it, and
works.
then you go in and you go,
No,
oh,
that's not how it
the
works.
sink
No,
is fucked up.
No, how it works.
The roof is leaking. There's some bodies in the basement.
No, the roof is leaking. That's the order of the list. The roof is leaking. What else? My wife keeps telling me to mention. Oh, right. We found 30 bodies.
Oh, there's Oh, shit.
There's a bunch of dead bodies.
We did not get any fee for
Also,
body cleanup.
I'm worried about the grass in the front yard.
Oh, you're talking about the gravestones?
Yeah.
They'll
They're
be
really
there
eating
for-
up the area.
Yeah, you should have. You could have seen those when you.
Also, there's some bodies in the attic. Oh, and the bathtub runs blood.
Yep.
So,
Welcome to the post office.
thank you. What?
Ring, ring, ring. For a year, coffins mingled with mail bags and mail carts with hearses. But finally, the dead were cleared away.
This is like
after
the
a
Addams
year.
Family Post Office.
Yeah, for a year, that's what it was.
It was hearses carrying packages,
Well, there were hearses,
or it's hearses carrying.
There's like a hearse stuck next to a mail cart in the.
Why are there bodies
parking
still
lot.
in the basement?
Because there's vaults down there where they put
It's
bodies, and so
tombs?
they're like tombs, so they hadn't cleared them out yet. When they sold it, who's gonna if you sell it, you're not gonna get rid of the bodies first. You just keep the basement
Did you
door
tell
closed.
them about the body?
Ixnay on
The bottle of champagne.
Right.
We'll open once they buy it.
Plop. The one thing they were never able to get rid of were the rats.
Who gives a fuck about rats?
The rats had been around forever. In the 1700s, a sugar house had been built next door to the church, and the number of rats increased dramatically.
Rats love sugar.
Then came the hard times, the war. Suddenly, no sugar house and tons of starving men. Not good times for rats. But after the war, a bonanza. The church was turned into a stable for a while, and the sugar house came back. So this church is a fucked up church. Because the British came in, they ripped up all the pews, they put a bunch of dying dudes in there.
Yeah.
And then after that, they were like, let's keep horses in here. Clearly, churches didn't have the same.
What is this space? How does this have?
It's an all-use kind of space.
I mean, what are you picturing? It's like a kid combined 9 different Lego sets.
I don't know.
Stables, post office, church, prison.
I can't
It's
picture.
the Swiss Army knife building.
I can't picture any church that gets turned into a stable.
What? I mean, I can't even imagine. I can't even picture what this must look like. It just looks like a churchy stable prison.
Yeah. So then the sugar house came back. So the oats, the rats are loving it. There's oats and hay and big old piles of shit, plus maple syrup, right? Because that's what they do at a sugar house.
What a great list.
So it's like rat heaven. They're like, woohoo, there's so many fucking
There's
rats.
sugar.
But then the post office came and the dead bodies were taken out and the sugar house closed. Once again, hard times for rats. They learned to get into the contents of the mail bags and became experts at boring through the mail with their sharp teeth to find anything edible. They cut through leather pouches and were known to get through locks.
Locks.
So they're like fucking awesome rats.
Well, you gave them cocaine.
You gave them cocaine,
and then you took it away from
and you
them.
gave them a fucking lockpick set.
Yeah. So
all of that is stupid.
yeah. So I mean, what do you expect?
The year 1845 also coincided with great change in the post office. One huge change made was pricing. They passed the Postal Act of 1845.
Oh, I'm very familiar with
Congress
the Postal
did,
Act.
of course.
Congress
Quote,
passed that, right?
Yeah.
Thought so.
Quote, for every single letter in manuscript or paper of any kind by or upon which information shall be asked for or communicated in writing or by marks and signs, converted in the mail for any distance under 300 miles, 5 cents.
Okay.
And for any distance over 300 miles, 10 cents.
Okay.
Before that, it was like a shitload of different prices for different things.
Oh, okay, so there's just two.
They took that shit down. They simplified it.
They made it near and far.
Right. This simplified and reduced much of the cost of sending letters. Then after more pressure to lower rates again, in 1851, the price was dropped to 3 cents.
3?
This really opened up the mail to the masses.
What, before?
Before it was
a fancy pants thing to do.
Yeah,
to mail
before
something?
the mail was just for rich people. That's all who could afford to do it.
Those fucking rats must have been eating some good shit.
Yep. The post office was not meant to be self-sustaining. It was subsidized by Congress for the good of the people and the businesses.
Sure.
So Congress subsidized the post office, and then it led to businesses flourishing. And see, sometimes the government will do things that will help the citizens and the businesses.
Yeah. Well, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore.
No, we don't need that with internet. Suddenly, more people were learning to read and write in order to communicate with relatives and friends.
Okay.
It was almost like their version of broadband. Except not
except
private.
slower.
Except slower.
Except
Now,
faster.
actually, Time Warner might be a little bit slower than the mail.
No, I think Time Warner is the only one that's slower than that system.
Now, with this ease of letter sending, came access by those who had not had true access before.
Okay.
Of course, I am talking about women.
Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Oh, no. They're letting them write letters?
Yep. Ladies,
Dear Sally Mae,
turning it loose.
I cooked a pie for George. Hope you're well.
Oh, golly. Men were at this time, of course, terrified of unfettered communication by women. Up until now, it had been pretty easy to have a handle on it. Husbands and fathers would check a lady's letters before she read them or sent them.
Oh, my gosh. That's amazing.
Like being in jail.
Man, better times, man.
You know what? I should read this lest your vagina get wet.
Yeah. You're cheating on me.
Yay! Only the wealthiest women before could actually write and receive letters regularly. But now 1845 came and the standardized letter prices. Now working women, middle-class housewives, and anyone else with a vagina and a few cents could mail a letter.
Whoa.
Suddenly, women were going to the post office and getting and sending their own mail, completely unmonitored by men.
I don't like it, David. I don't like it for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
They can't be trusted, and you know what they're going to be mailing.
Oh, my God.
Underwear.
Dirty used underwear.
Dirty used underwear to each other.
Yeah.
We're not idiots.
We know
what to be worried about.
That's what they do. That's what women do when they're doing. Underwear back and forth.
Underwear back and forth. The next thing you know, you've got all their cycles sync up.
Yep.
And,
Then we're at war.
Guess what? Then we're slaves.
Thank you.
Yep.
The new post office in the old Middle Dutch church was no place
Everything's fine.
for a lady. Do you think that turned off?
No.
All right, it's just the recording thing we use. Why would that be a problem?
I'm sorry. I was worried about the cat.
Did the cat run away?
Yeah, the cat's dead.
So the men thought that it was no place for a lady. Newspapers wrote about the inconvenient location, the horrible staff, and, quote, a general wildness.
Wait, sorry. Why did they do that? Did they do that to dissuade women?
Well, yeah, they were just saying how terrible it was, but also newspapers wrote about a general wildness at the place.
Like, what does that even mean? Just like it's Animal House?
It's just a fucking party zone. It's a post office,
Well,
man.
no, it's not just the post office. It's many other things.
This was certainly not a good place for a lady to be, but the women flocked there.
Foolish women!
There was a gossip column called A Stranger in Gotham in the New York Times. In 1855, the author wrote about a trip to the ladies' window at the post office.
The ladies' window.
There was a separate ladies' window, so ladies had to go to the ladies' window.
It's so hard when you have to retroactively think how things came to fruition.
I mean...
Like the idea that okay, sure, women couldn't send mail, but the idea that it starts with a woman's line.
They have their own window.
Like their own line because...
Why?
Why?
What's going to happen at the post office?
Because
if you stand in a man-lady line, you get finger banged every time.
I think that honestly is the only rational reason why. Because they were worried women standing in line would just be hit with dicks too much. Just fucking psychos just being like, my penis is out. What are you mailing?
Oh, you in line with me? I can take my junk out.
Okay.
So this woman who
What's in the package, ma'am?
It's just coffee.
Look at my dick.
What? That's why I came here. I'm sinking to my knees.
Oh my God. So hot.
So in 1855, the author, who was a woman of A Stranger in Gotham, wrote about the post office and her trip to the ladies' window, and she said she was, quote, enthralled. So the women are like, this is fucking amazing. Total freedom.
Such a low bar.
Like, they are so caged.
Such a low bar.
They're like caged animals.
No, I mean, really.
That going to the post office is enthralling.
Yeah, look, well, you starve anything long enough and give it a peanut, it'll be happy.
Quote, so much interested in what passed before it came my turn to be served, that I drew into a corner, and for half an hour, eyes and ears did me as good service as at any place of amusement that I have visited in the city.
A half hour?
Just at the post office watching people.
A half hour.
This is before television.
Wow. I think now would be a more interesting time to go to the post office and watch.
Yeah, maybe.
It's basically like, it looks like the Men in Black room.
Jose's doing something in the kitchen.
He's going to the bathroom, bro.
He's running back and forth.
Oh.
So it's just a good fucking time at the post office.
Sure,
I mean,
yeah. It's Studio 54 with stamps.
Other newspapers and magazines did not write about the post office in positive ways. Blackwood's Edinburgh magazine, yes, a magazine in Scotland, wrote about the American post office.
This bloody institution has to be closed. You know they've given women their own bloody line. Some of the fucking women will just stand on the back and watch for a bloody half an hour at times.
Oh, fuck, we gotta do Scottish Comes to America one.
Oh, look at this amazing nation. Crikey almighty. Look at how big the buildings are. The post office has got bodies in the bloody basement. Can't believe my bloody eyes. What, the rat's eating my package?
No, there's haggis in there.
Oh, no. Well, joke's on the rat on that one, mate.
So the Edinburgh Magazine, it was mostly a compare and contrast situation. In England, a woman had to rely on a report on a report. She had to go
Word of mouth.
No, she couldn't just go to the post office. She had to go to a town businessman who would, like, there was a specific guy. Well, there was like a specific guy in the town who would take the letters from a lady. So a man could go and mail on his own, but a lady had to go through a dude.
So you're interested in mailing a package, I understand. So it brings you to the office today, is it? Well, I don't know if you're exactly package material, my love. Not going to lie to you. Maybe in about 2-3 months, you work hard enough, you come back here, you do the things we talked about, we discussed, you might be able to send one. But till then, I'm going to have to deny your claim. Sorry, love.
Meanwhile, the girls in New York had total freedom.
I mean, think of living in a time where in Scotland, women are hearing rumors of this woman's line in the post office and just creaming.
I'm going to try and do Scotland. She has the privilege if she chooses to No, that's Irish, right?
That's not bad.
She has the privilege, if she chooses to exercise it, of her own private box or pigeonhole at the post office of the town where she resides, where she can have her letters addressed and with her by a lady's entrance. She can resort when she pleases and unlock her box from the outside and take away her letters without observation.
It did dip into Irish towards
It
the
did,
end.
it went Irish.
However, you're saved by the fact that this guy, that the box can now be a term for a vagina.
Yeah.
Because with that context,
Yeah.
that's a much funnier thing.
Let's face it, they're all worried
She's
about...
unlocked her box.
They're all worried about the box being unlocked.
Yeah, when you really think about it,
That's what it comes
That's where
down
it all
to.
comes from.
What has the world come to? Women getting their own mail. Men feared the post office.
You know what they called it female.
It's called mail for a reason. Now it's called female.
No, it's female.
Men feared the post office. Now women were just blatantly flaunting their right to get mail in front of everyone. Right
just
there.
rubbing our fucking noses in it.
I can get my mail, you fucking...
Bitch.
With no one to protect them from the words that were written on the page.
Oh my God, what an amazing beginning.
Their chastity and virtue was at stake. Both by the content of the letters and the post office itself.
The last part is crazy.
Yeah. In the great metropolis, a mirror of New York, famous ex-war correspondent, now city writer, a famous war correspondent, now city writer, discussed the peril women face due to the new post office system.
It's so great to frame it as their women. It's not good for you.
Ladies, I'm gonna let you know what's going on there, and then you'll know.
Mind the devil's slippery grip.
A letter can go right into your bottom.
Okay.
Quote, the stations are the favorites of intriguers of both sexes and are frequently made rendezvous for interdirected communication and illicit pleasures.
I'm sorry. In layman's terms? Are they saying... is it...
So there's people of both sexes looking for action.
At the post office.
And there's rendezvous happening. And
the post office is a fuck house.
Communication between different people, and then illicit pleasures, I think, is... You can probably get dildos. There's probably a dildo window.
A window?
A window that mails letters for dildos and also sells dildos.
What?
Yes.
Is that really true?
Nope. Okay. But what kind of illicit pleasures are we talking about? I personally have never gotten some action at the post office.
Oh, you haven't?
I've never seen a respectable lady go in and get finger banged.
Oh, you just go up to the counter and ask for forever stamps and wink twice.
George Ellington spelled it out in his book, The Women of New York. That's not the guy's real name. That was a pseudonym because no one wanted to attach her name to ridiculous garbage. Anyway, George wanted of madams using the post office to lure the 1,000 school girls a week that call there into a life of prostitution.
Oh, amazing. God, we're such Same shit, different day. I mean,
dicks.
isn't that just like Planned Parenthood right now?
Men are such dicks.
It's just so fucking...
We're just horrible. Men are fucking
it's
horrible.
just cheap. It's just like...
No.
Dude, it's not even dirty pool. It's just like using the fucking cue to stab someone.
I mean, don't go to the post office or you'll become a whore.
You'll become a whore.
That's,
I mean, we pull the emergency fucking brake, right? Like, we don't fucking, there's no foreplay. We
go
just
straight
ram
to
it
DEFCON
in.
5.
Yeah. Don't use the post office. You'll be whores. Come on.
Quote, procuruses
Whores.
made it the business of forming the acquaintance of young, susceptible girls on their way from school. Waylaying them, they opened conversation and gradually led their minds into the abnormal channels which the reading of sensational books, the conversation of sickly, sentimental companions, and clandestine correspondence with unprincipled men incline them.
So the theory is that women now are able to read the words of others freely.
Yep.
And they're using it for dirty stuff. And now while they're opening these dirty books, they're also opening their dirty books for paying Johns.
So if a woman reads a letter that a man has not been able to inspect first,
Of course, which
her vagina
that is totally normal.
her vagina opens up like a lily in the daylight.
Right.
And then once the vagina is open, they cannot help but take money to allow dicks to go in there.
Wow, that make that now that I hear that, now I think this is a rational.
That's just male.
Yeah, that's just male right there.
That's just the male business. Concerns grew when the post office decided to build a new, much larger post office near City Hall.
Why? What? Because it's gone terribly.
And worse yet, home delivery in 1863.
Oh my god. Oh my god, no. They won't even have to be in that whore line.
Up until now, you had to go down to the post office to get your mail, or if you were rich, you used servants or a private courier company to get it from the post office and bring it to your home. The reason home mail service was introduced was because of the Civil War. Family members wanted to communicate with their Union soldier relatives fighting across the nation. And by the early 1870s, almost everyone in Manhattan had home delivery service. But another reason for home delivery service was because men were looking out for women and their trips to the post office, which could make them whores.
I mean, that whore thing really had some momentum, huh? Here I am thinking that's a flash in the pan worry, but that's why mail came to your home.
One of the reasons that mail came to your home.
Because women were going to become whores in the minds of psychos.
Congress took note. Representative John Palfrey of Massachusetts.
Imagine telling them back then that women would be serving in that body of government. Just being like, you're worried about the post office? Well, the time I'm from, they're talking about one of them being the president of the United States.
Good God, man!
Oh, my, Murphy's having a heart attack.
God, what?
Quick, give him the Heimlich.
Oh, you said something horrific, and I blacked out, and I can't see anything.
A woman's president.
But God, how would the place smell? Congress took note. Representative John Palfrey of Massachusetts, when debating home delivery...
Debate, yeah. Well,
that must have been a great debate.
Oh, God.
I don't think we should have it because... I don't...
All right, we're going to have it.
He said he was concerned, quote, for the female of humble condition who is compelled to go to a public place for the letter she is expecting and await her turn to inquire for it amidst the annoyance of a crowd.
What? What did they...
The poor delicate woman would have to stand in line amongst the human filth.
Dude, it's not an abused dog. She's capable of going inside of a building and being around others.
Without getting finger banged?
The sheltering. It's like they wanted every woman to be Nell.
Yeah, no, this is ISIS.
Yeah, right.
But home delivery did not stop the anarchist women from heading down to the post office to do their mail business.
Oh,
she wanted it, she loved it, and she continued to head down into the crowds and tempt prostitution.
That whore!
New York slowly stopped caring about women going to the post office alone as it became the norm.
Yeah, there we go.
They eventually just gave up. Quote, occasionally some unsophisticated citizen complains of such things through the newspapers, but New York cares not for them. It is too busy to attempt to regulate the lives of persons to whom it is indifferent.
Yeah.
So women won the war to go to the post office.
Well, good God.
I mean,
good. Well,
it's just a great battle. That
made sense.
You hear stories of women fighting the good fight, and when you hear one like this, where they got the right to go to the post office.
Well, it is, as we always say, it is funny to think. I mean, you got to. Granted, we live on basically a dried out husk, and we're not going to be on it for too much longer. But if there were to be future generations who are looking back about gay marriage and stuff, it would be the same sort of shit.
Yes. Oh, totally.
Just the evolution of acceptance. But this is
really something else.
It's really pretty fascinating. Women. Just the idea of women being in the world.
Yeah.
That's
it. Oh,
bully!
good Lord, they're outside doing things on their own.
They don't have dicks. It's the only difference.
That's it.
Is the dicks, and it just made them a little different in the head.
You can't let them wander around with their own vaginas.
Got pussies. Do you have any idea what they're doing? They're fools. They've got pussies, you idiot. They don't have dicks. They don't.
Oh, fuck.
All right.
So, that's the Dollop. You guys leave us a review on iTunes. That helps. It helps things. Trust me.
Tell people of us.
You can still purchase if you do not see the live Dollop at LA Podfest, the stream, you can still purchase all the shows. I think there's 40 shows. And you go to lapodfest.com, you buy the archive of the live streams, and then you put in Dollop and you get $5 off. So it's $20 to watch all 40 podcasts. Yeah.
And Patreon people, we want to thank.
Oh yeah, I want to thank all the Patreon people.
Donates.
I know I've thanked you in
hand jobs,
but so all of your stuff. Those of you who I sent a lot of messages out, and a lot of people didn't respond. So those of you who did respond will be getting your shirts and whatever level you donated at. Your rewards will be coming hopefully in the next week or so. I've sent them off to my distributor. And if you haven't donated and you want to, you can head over there and donate. Also, we're going to set up one of those Amazon things, Amazon Associate, where people can use our link to then buy stuff. And I'm talking a podcast, they make a lot of money off of it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's crazy. So we're going to set up those. We'll put that up on the Facebook page, and it'll be on my page, DaveAnthonyComedy.com, and different places. We'll put it up on the Dollop.net, stuff like that. Pornhub, YouPorn.
YoungKoreanBoys.com.
Mommy Handy.
LemonParty.org. Mommy Handy.
Lemons go in there?
No.
Is a good one.
Grandpa.
All right, we did that.
Okay.
Oh, yes, it's Gareth. Not Gary, stop it. Gare Force. Listen, I've got a bunch of stand-up shows coming up, and I want to see you there. We can hug. I will be at Rooster Teeth Feathers in Sunnyvale, California, April 18th, 19th, and 20th. Then I will be in Chattanooga, Tennessee, June 18th. I will be at Nashville at Zanies, June 19th. I will be in Huntsville, Alabama, June 20th. I'll be in Atlanta, Georgia, June 21st, June 22nd. Then I will be in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, June 26th. Then I'll be in East Providence, Rhode Island, June 27th. Then I'll be in Boston, Massachusetts, and Boston, June 28th. That's 2 shows. I will be in Springfield, Massachusetts, June 29th, Rochester, New York, June 30th, and then July 5th through the 6th. Canada, I've heard your prayers, and I will answer them. I will be in Toronto. So come join me at the Comedy Bar. Go to GarethReynolds.com for tickets and information. That's right, Gare Force. We're calling you up. It's the big time. The big leagues. This went poorly.
There's few things more important than community. And as a local and family-owned business, we at Applewood pride ourselves on delivering exceptional plumbing, heating, and electrical services to the people of Denver, Boulder, and Longmont. Our team of licensed and certified professionals will tackle any home comfort issues you may have, as we always have for 50 years. Because when you choose Applewood, you're investing back into your community. Applewood Plumbing, Heating, and Electric. Locally owned, serving Colorado homeowners for 50 years.